I'm excited to welcome on top player in 2022 and Rylan Griffen. What's going on today, my guy?
What's up?
Not much, man. Well, let's just get into this. You have had a lot of offers recently. You're part 2022, which means schools really could start contacting you, could start talking to coaches. What's it been like? Take us through recruiting right now.
It's been fun. The colleges, I thought there would be more colleges that just offered me and didn't really talk to me, but most of them still really talk to me. So that really shows me that they really wanted me and they weren't really lying when they offered me and said that they wanted me.
And out of all these schools, I mean, you got schools all over the country, blue bloods like Kansas, you got everything. Who's showing the most interest at this moment?
I say them, Oklahoma, Kansas State, really a lot. I talk to Kansas State a lot every day.
Let's talk about K-State. You obviously have a cousin, Thomas Gibson, that once went there. What kind of relation would that be like? What would it be like kind of staying with the family and going to K-State and kind of following his legacy?
It would be great. The assistant coach that's recruiting me is Thomas's best friend, so
Mhm.
it'd be great. I've known him for a while, and I've known Thomas my whole life, so it's been great. It would be great to go over there and follow in his footsteps.
And before we talk a little bit more about K-State, you've kind of kept your offers and everything a little bit under the radar. You have a lot of other people kind of do it for you. What's kind of been your approach to that? Why have you kind of wanted to keep it a little bit low key in terms of the way you promote it?
I don't want to just post all my offers because to me, I just don't see the need in doing that because I might not go to that school, so I don't really see any need to doing that.
Absolutely. And when you talk about K-State, I mean, all the schools you just listed are Big 12 schools. Is that kind of a dream for you? I mean, have you always kind of liked to want to possibly play in the Big 12 growing up?
Yeah, the Big 12 close to where I'm from, so a lot of schools, pretty much all the schools close to here in the Big 12, I've heard from or got offered from. So it's pretty cool and it's definitely a thought staying in the Big 12 because I'm close to home and close to my friends and family.
And I think I had KJ on a little bit ago, and he mentioned the cool thing about that is if you go to a Kansas State, or anyone else that's not in Texas, but you're in the Big 12, you get to come home and have family support you when you come play Texas, Baylor, TCU. The list kind of goes on. How much more appealing does that make the Big 12 knowing that you can come home a couple times a year?
I've always really looked into the Big 12, the style of play, how close it is, the schools. And it would be great to come home every once in a while for a game like Baylor. That's not too far from where I'm from. So, it would be cool to come up there and play for them or against them. So it would be fun.
No doubt. So, what do you like about K State? When you talk about the culture they have there, the overall feeling about K State for you, what do you like about them?
Just how much I talk to them. I talk to Kansas a lot too. I talk to them probably the most because I known them for so long since I was a kid. So now that I'm older and they can actually recruit me to go there, it's been great. Me and we be talking about the game, the playoffs. It's not even really about me going to Kansas State at all. It's about other things like what's going on today in today's world and games and all that stuff. And so it's great because every time I can really every I'll be watching the game and I'll shoot him a text and we'll start talking about the game and it's fun.
Who are you going for in the playoffs?
I'm gonna have to go right now. I'm going for Dallas because they're from where I'm from. So they do pretty good right now.
For sure. And let's talk about KU then. That's a school that's a blue blood. I mean, obviously, anytime you get one of those, that just means a little bit more is because of having the opportunity to have that recognition from one of the best to ever do it. What is it like and take us to that day? What did it feel like to get that KU offer when they came in?
It was crazy. I didn't really believe it when my dad had told me that they offered me, but then the coach got on the phone and told me it was true. So it was crazy. Still didn't really believe it after that, but it was crazy and it just motivated me to work harder because it let me know that I could be good enough to go to a blue blood type school.
Now, you talk about possibly going to a school that has one of, if not the best fans in the country. Just the atmosphere we know that Allen Fieldhouse has. How appealing is that to you? What would it be like to possibly step foot in Allen Fieldhouse and play in front of that type of crowd?
I like playing for big crowds. My school team, we have a big crowd over there.
Mhm.
So it would be great to go to college and have that same type atmosphere. It just makes people want to play better and get the win for the school because the fans showing a bunch of support.
You're talking to the coaching staff at KU. Who's the kind of player that they want you to be like? Who's kind of the guy that's telling you that they want you to kind of develop into?
They haven't really told they haven't really told me they want to develop me into a they tell me that I can score really well. Then they tell me that they want to try to develop me into a point guard so I could set the offense up and score and be dangerous. And they tell me that over there I'm gonna have to play both ends because if I play defense and can run point guard and score, then that just makes the NBA look better for me. Is what they be telling me.
Absolutely. And Oklahoma, we mentioned as well. They're another big time program. A lot of talent going out there recently. What do you like about Oklahoma?
I like how they let their guards play, like Buddy Hield and Trey Young.
Hmm.
They got to play, and they tell me that too. They told me that if I went over there, Coach Kruger would let me do what I needed to do. So I really don't really care about my position. People can put me as a 2, 3. I really don't care which one I'm at. I just want to be in the best position to do what I need to do to help my team get the win.
And KU comes to you with the kind of the approach of saying, we've got guys like Devontae Graham, Frank Mason recently that have become win award guys, guard positions, and Oklahoma, same thing as you said, Trey Young, Buddy Hield. How much more appealing? What just kind of goes through your mind when you kind of hear that approach saying they have done it and they made big time players with guys at your position?
It makes me start. It makes me think even harder about going to the school, uh, like Oklahoma, especially because uh, nobody really thought Trey Young was a one and done type player. And he went there. Coach Kruger let him do his thing, and he was out in the year in top 5 in the draft. So that was great. And then Buddy Hield, his senior year, he brought them to the Final Four, I think, and he was out in the draft. So it showed me that he really lets his players play.
Absolutely. And talk about Coach Kruger. What's your relationship like with him?
That was great. I like talking to Coach Kruger. Every time I talk to him, it's a good conversation. Every time I talk to either either one of the assistants, it's a good conversation. So yeah, I like them for sure.
That's big time. And I mean, out of those three schools I said, you obviously like a lot of different things. There's something that separate them. What would you say are some of the biggest differences between KU, K-State, and Oklahoma?
Uh, like you said with Kansas, I think their fans are probably the best fans in the country if you really think about it. Uh, Oklahoma, I like how they get guards to the next level, no matter what level it is, it's next level.
Mhm.
Kansas, they get guards and bigs to the next level, and Kansas State gets a lot of wings to the next level. So I really like they showed me a bunch of wings that they got to the next level that weren't really highly recruited out of high school that they took a chance on and they got to the next level. Like Rodney Magruder is on the Clippers right now in the NBA playoffs. Uh, Wesley Iwundu, he's from Kansas State. He's on the Magic right now. So yeah, they just showed me a bunch of them and tell me that they could develop me to somebody better than them. So that's great.
Now, you also talked about different guys showing interest in you. I know on the first couple of days of coaches calling you, you had Duke interest from you. We've talked to them, a couple of the big time schools. Who's showing a lot of interest right now, but have yet to give you the offer?
Probably Memphis. I talk to Memphis a lot. They show me a bunch of film. Again, we talk about what's going on in the playoffs right now. Every time he sends me film, he digests it and tells me how I need to try to use that and add it to my skill set. He worked in the NBA too, so
Mhm.
he worked with people like Devin Booker. So that's a person that kind of plays my position. So yeah, he just sends me a bunch of film on him and Luca and all these other great players in the NBA right now.
And I know Coach Topper pretty well. And as you said, he's been around so many different big time NBA guys and coaches and at all different levels. Who does he see you being like? I mean, you kind of mentioned showing you Devin Booker, Luca film. Who's the guy that he wants you to develop to at the college level if Memphis was the school you wanted to go to?
It when he talked to me, it was eye opening because he was the first coach that said, "Don't come here to win a national championship," because that's not doing anything for yourself, that's doing something more for the school. We want to get you in here and get you to the next level as quick as possible or as long as you need. So that was eye opening to me because that shows that some coaches only care about winning to keep their job, but they care about getting people to the next level. So that was eye opening to me.
And at the helm of the team is Coach Hardaway, a guy once again at your guard position that's played in the NBA and all-time NBA great. What would that be like kind of learning from him, picking his brain as how he did what you eventually want to do?
That would definitely mean a lot to go out there and have him as my head coach because that would just probably help my skill set even more with him because he was a great NBA player. He was an all-star, so that would definitely help.
That's awesome. Now let's talk about high school. You have a duo out there, as we've obviously talked about before, and Cason Wallace. He's doing his thing right now. Both of you guys are possibly one of the best duos in the country. Just what's it like playing with him?
It's great because me and him, our games complement each other. There's a lot of things he can do that I'm not really good at right now. And we don't really care about rankings or anything like that. We don't really care about who gets to shine. If he's dominating the game, I'm gonna do whatever I can to help him stay dominating the game. And I know it's like that vice versa. So we only care about winning at the end of the day. Most duos they don't really end well because they care about rankings or who's better than who. We don't really care about that. We both know we're real good players, so we just go out and try to get the job done every day.
Take us back. When did you guys start getting to know each other? When this relationship first started?
I known him since like third grade. We were friends, but we were on the opposite team. Like my team didn't like his team didn't like my team. So we played against each other for a while, and then we teamed up in seventh grade. So it was good because I had played against him and I had used to guard him and he guarded me. So we really both knew what each other was good at by the time seventh grade came up. So when we started playing together, it was just easy. It was like it didn't take any time at all to like get used to playing with each other or have that good chemistry.
Now, what led you guys teaming up? Was that just kind of natural happening, or did you guys kind of talk to each other and said, "Yeah, let's go to Richardson together"?
It started in junior high. He went to this junior high and he had told me what high school he was going to. So I had like I could have went to a different junior high, but I went to that one because they had him and a couple other good players. So and I knew we were going to high school together, so I wanted to get the chemistry done early because I knew that we were gonna have to be playing with each other for 4 years of high school. So I just wanted to get it done early, and I did, and it was easy.
And this has been a nickname for you guys before, the Bad Boys. What's kind of your nickname? What do you think you guys should be called, and what's kind of your guys' name for the dynamic duo?
I like bad boys because we don't really care about who we playing against. We could be playing against anybody. We don't care. We're gonna try to kill them people when we play against them, and we're gonna try to dominate them and beat them every time. We don't really care about what people think. So yeah, I like that name a lot.
Now, talk about this past season, 34-4. You guys are both sophomores, a really young team. What was this year like? Take us through the ups and downs of the year.
It started off pretty like we didn't start off bad, but like after our first four games or whatever, we went on a long like 19 game winning streak or 20 game winning streak, something like that. And it was just fun. It wasn't really people give only me and Cason the credit really, but it's really more than just us because there are other people on the team that put me and Cason in a position to do what we do to help us win. So it's really just a whole team effort. Uh, and it's fun playing with them. And next season, hopefully, we could go all the way.
And you had a 22 point per game season, 5 rebounds, 4 assists per game a year. That was a pretty solid year for your sophomore season. But going back, when did it start clicking for you? When did you realize that you could become an elite scorer and a top guy in the country?
My high school coach really told me that I was one of the better scorers that he's seen. And AAU, I played with a bunch of dudes who could score, so you couldn't really just see that like obvious. But with them, he just ran a bunch of plays to me. He let me really do what I had to do, and it just came easy. I got more confident playing with that team, and I really like playing with that team a lot. I got that coach, all the coaches at that school really just helped me be more confident in my game and develop. They really helped me develop into the player I am now.
Absolutely. And so now you look at your junior season, upperclassman years now. What are you capable of averaging? What do you think you can score next season?
I say about the same amount of points. We got the same team pretty much coming back. So and we still got Cason. Cason definitely gonna get his buckets. But everybody else on the team, they're probably better than they were last year too. So it's probably gonna be around the same amount. But I really don't care how many points I score, as long as we get the win.
And when you go back to the dynamic duo between you and Kason, both guys are high level guys. You guys do share some offers from the same schools. Is potentially teaming up at the college level something that you guys have talked about, or something that you would like possibly like to do?
Yeah, we've talked about it multiple times. We both like Kansas State a lot. So we've talked about them. We talked about some other schools. So it would be great teaming up with him because what we did with Richardson, nobody knew about Richardson really until we started winning over there. So we want to bring that type energy to a college if we do team up.
Now, going forward, I mean, you guys have 2 years together. What's the goals and accomplishments that you guys want to win and achieve before you guys head out to college?
We want to win state this year, really, because we feel like we kind of let the school down last year. We didn't make it. So this year we want to make it, and everybody's really expecting us to make it. So we want to try to go undefeated this whole season and win state. Not saying it'll happen, but that's our goal so far.
You guys both will be guys heavily recruited by also high schools to go to a prep school, go to a national schedule. Is that something you guys have ever considered or looked at?
We haven't really looked at going to a prep school. We really like where we're at right now because our coach, why would we leave with if our coach is really there for us and lets us play our game, and he's really the one that helped both of us
Mm-hmm.
play our game, and it helped people started to see that, so they saw how good we were after playing for him. So I don't think we really have any intentions in leaving. So yeah,
And you also have a little brother, up and coming 2024 guy. Take us through him. What's your relationship like with him, and what do you expect for him now in the future?
I think he'll be good. He's been getting better. He can shoot, and he's getting tall, getting more athletic. He's still young, so he got time to get better. But I think he'll be a really good player one day. He'll have just as many offers as me, probably be better than me. So I think that if he just continues to work and continues to play hard, I think he'll be a great player one day.
Is the plan for him to be able to play with you guys this upcoming season?
I think so.
How excited would you guys be to be able to be on the same court together?
Me and him really haven't played on the same team, and I don't think we ever have. So it'd be great to finally get to play with him and finally see where each other's at. And I'm gonna try to lead him down the right. Me and Cason gonna try to lead him and all the other young people down the right path. So when we leave, they can just pick it up and hopefully be just as good as us.
Absolutely, man. Let's talk about AAU. You are in Texas, and you've had a little bit more games than most people in the country have had this year. What's it been like just getting back on the court and playing basketball again?
It's great because Texas, you really don't have to leave Texas to prove you're one of the best.
Mhm.
So playing AAU against people in Texas is just like playing a national team. So it's been great. It's been fun. I like it. And hopefully next year we'll be able to get to travel again though.
You are running with Drive Nation. Why'd you choose them?
Just my bond with coaching staff, especially on my bond with the players and the coaching staff, with Coach Jermaine. I have a great bond with him. I talk to him a lot, and he really wants to see me succeed, and he thinks I could be a great player one day too. And then people like Keontae and Noah and Jordan and Trey and Lee and all them, they just some of my closest friends, and it's fun playing with them.
You just mentioned a lot of guys, all guys that are pretty much in the top 100, big time guys. Have you ever discussed with any of them also about possibly wanting to team up with in the college level as well?
I haven't really talked to anybody but Noah,
Mhm.
and me and Noah talk about it a lot. Think it's a possibility, but at the end of the day, we probably it could happen, but we're gonna choose what school is best for us because he wants to see me do well. I want to see him do well. So following each other, following him, following me, if that's not his best interest. I wouldn't want him to do that because I would want him to go somewhere where he could be successful.
Which one would you say would be more likely, you and Cason teaming up, you or Noah, or even possibly all three of you?
I think I think me and Cason is a great possibility because what we've been through as a team, even like freshman year, we didn't really do well, and then we just made a big jump from freshman year to last year. Last year. So
Mm-hmm.
I say for right now, me and Cason, but things could change.
Mm-hmm.
I think Noah has a great chance of going to school with Lee, though.
Absolutely. And you mentioned Coach Jermaine O'Neal, obviously an NBA great, a big time player. What's it like being around him, and what's some of the biggest advice he's given you throughout your basketball career so far?
It's been great being around him. What he tells me, his advice to me is like keep that chip on your shoulder, but don't let it hurt you. Only let it help you. So he
Mhm.
says play hard, play aggressive, but don't let that chip on your shoulder steer you down the wrong path. That's what he tells me a lot. He told me that he had a chip on his shoulder, and I remind him of my approach to the game reminds him of him when he was younger. So he just tells me to stay on the right path, keep the chip, and keep it in a positive way, not a negative way.
That's big time, man. You are in Texas, one of, if not the best states in all America. What's it like playing basketball out there?
It's great. We're going against the best competition every day. I think, especially in practice.
Mhm.
My teammates, they make me better. They're also a big reason why I got better because in practice I have great defenders like Cason. He guards me a lot, and then everybody on my team really is a good defender. So when they guard me, it just makes me better. And then in the game, it's just much easier. And then going against great defenders in Texas, it's it's not as hard as it would have been because I think people like Cason is probably like the best defender in Texas. So I already have to go against the best defender in Texas in practice. So people that aren't him, it just makes it a lot easier for me.
No doubt. And give me like your ranking. What's your top 3 or 5 states in America in order?
Texas number one, number two, I say Florida, number three, I say California.
Gotcha. And a couple of things before let you go. I was like wrapping up talking about building a legacy for yourself. So when you are done playing basketball someday, what do you want your legacy to be?
I want to be known as one of the best players to ever play basketball. And then also want to be known as a dude who wasn't selfish and helped everybody and helped anything that needed to be helped with. So that's what I want to be known as before it's all said and done.
That's big time, man. I know you're also a believer. Talk about your faith. How has God helped get you to the point you're at today?
Guys helped me a lot because there were times where I wanted to quit, especially in AAU. I just wanted to quit and not play basketball no more. Just wait till school season. But he kept me in the. Kept telling me that I need to keep playing and never quit. And playing AAU just made me better. Every obstacle that I was going through just made me better. So when school ball came up and the same thing was happening, it didn't affect me that much mentally.
That's awesome, man. How would you say you first kind of got your relationship with God? When did it first kind of start growing?
Since I was since I was young, really, but it started growing more and more when I got to high school, really, because that's when I needed him the most. Because I was going to a new school, new things were happening. I was playing for a new coach in school, and AAU, new things were happening. I went to a new team, so that's when it really started. I really started to need him.
And as you get to the different levels, obviously you get higher platform, college level, pro level. How do you like to be able to continue to spread God's light?
Anything I'm good at, or anything, say I win a championship or something, I want to make sure everybody knows that God helped was the reason why I won a championship. So just getting his name out there for every piece of successful thing I have. So that's what really matters to me the most.
Absolutely, man. Well, I definitely appreciate you taking time to come on again, my guy, and I look forward to seeing what God got next for you, bro. Of
Yes, sir. Thank you.
course, you're always welcome on, man. God bless.
You too.